Hello everybody, welcome back to Road to Master. I hope you're all having an amazing day. We're starting off with the black pieces against an 1840 from Germany. I decided to play Scandinavian here. Why the devil not? Knight f6. And we get this. We won't do the stupid tricks. We'll try to have a safe-ish game, I guess. Knight c3. This is very normal, I guess. Apparently he's got a very big name. Marshall, Tomalti Gambit, Center Count. I don't know. I don't know at all. Is this a gambit? Apparently it's a gambit. Not sure why it's a gambit. I think c5 here is a valid move, actually. And after d5, you undermine with e6. And you're just constantly looking to trade off the queen. So we'll go ahead with c5. We won't pre-move anything, even though I don't think you could actually pre-move that. Anyway, I've just had a chess lesson, which I thoroughly enjoyed. So I'm feeling good, hopefully. Hopefully. And yeah, we covered some of my games from the tournament that I played at, which was interesting. Turns out it wasn't like the games. There was one game specifically that I thought I was doing really well in. It ended up losing. It wasn't as good as it looked, which is okay. Sometimes that happens. I think bishop e7 here is fine. But yeah, it was good understanding the deeper reasons why it wasn't as good as I thought it was. Very interesting. And we did some sort of puzzles, not puzzles, more like positions. Looked at some positions with similar ideas to sort of reinforce those things. So hopefully I've learned something from that. A lot of things about like space and how the space on the board is affecting the plan, stuff like that. Really interesting. By the way, takes here is good because we have the idea of knight takes with this little sort of idea with like knight takes or something. I don't know. It looks okay. Worst case, they get an isolated pawn. Which might actually be harder to hit than it looks, because we have no knight c6. That's something we gotta deal with. Castles as well. I really want. Try get the rook on e8 so we can maybe take the check at some point. Would be quite nice. And I think we've got a nice position here. c5 is the main move. At which point we're doing the usual thing where you on the c file, you know, when you sack the c pawn, you look to just take it straight back with the bishop. So that's all good. But yeah, this seems pretty okay. They've gone for this. Very interesting. We'll take the queen. We'll take the queen. I very almost clicked d2 there. That would have been not good. And then we've got these strong bishops. So I'm happy we can get the knight back onto c5. We can castle. Yeah, just good. We've got to watch out potentially for a knight b5. Would be annoying. Just looking for this square. But I think here castles is probably just fine. We have some of these ideas. They're going to struggle getting their bishop out potentially. Knight c5. Is knight e5 a big threat? To be honest, I'm not sure. Probably castles. No, we'll go knight c6. And then after that, maybe like a rook c8, just to cover the checking square, and not even checking square, I guess. And now we'll castle. So we've got what we wanted. We got the good bishops, very good bishops. Looking at a bit of a wall at the minute, but that's fine. Hopefully it'll clear up soon. I think knight b4 is just a very fun move, to be honest. Hitting this bishop, looking for this pawn. How you go about defending that, I'm not sure. A3 looks okay. Then we just take the bishop and live with the bishop pair, I guess. Seems okay. If they go back, do we have check? Do we have some checks? At least we do, and we can come straight back if we have to and just get rid of their castling, right? So I think that's just a good move, to be honest. Think that's just a good move. Knight there. Again, we just look to take, I think. Yeah, so they go back, and we're gonna prod them and poke them and see what they do. Get rid of their castling. Go straight back if we have to. Goes all the way back if we have to as well. Like 2 moves to get rid of their castling. I'm completely fine with that, to be honest. I don't think there's any tactics up just yet. I'd like a knight e4, but this knight's being a bit annoying with the idea of forking the bishop. So here I think we just drop straight back. Ooh, we can go there actually. Because after takes, knight takes, pawn takes, we move the knight. So then we can get the fork in and win the bishop. That's very nice. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I'm super happy. Super, super happy. And this comes with check as well. They go for this, which is just bad. Because actually takes. But then we get the bishop pair, like at least, I think. If we take with check, they take the pawn, which isn't good. So we would have to take the knight. So we can pre-move that actually. And maybe we double up the rooks, look for a d3 so we can go ahead and take c4 potentially. Lots of ideas. Maybe we were a bit quick with that. I'm not sure. I think they definitely have to take this knight here. Otherwise, they just lose. Like everything, at least everything, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you're all doing good. I went to go see the Minecraft movie yesterday. If you haven't had a chance to go watch that, please do. It's actually it looks like a stupid movie, but it's actually quite funny, to be fair. Had a few laughs and people yelling in the cinema, all that stuff. Very entertaining to watch. Anyway, that's a good looking move actually. I quite like that for them. I think here we have to go bishop e7. Not something I really want to do, but I think we have to. Just controlling as many squares as we can. Potentially looking at an f5. Potentially looking at a bishop b4 would be nice. Rook c8 looks good as well. So we'll throw in this check. Be a bit annoying. Keep harassing this king. And a rook c8, especially if they go king c2. If they don't, rook e8, I guess. Keep pinning stuff. Keep threatening stuff. And hopefully everything will work out in the end. f5, bishop f5. Knight moves. We can take this pawn with check, which would be nice. Is a big threat for them. They go there. I think. Oh. Yeah. See, I wanted to go bishop d5, but this pawn's being annoying. f5. Nah. It's not got the same vibe to it. I think here just a rook c8, right? Go after this pawn. Then b3. And it sort of died down a bit over here. Because you don't have the same pins with like a b5 push. What can we do? At least we're covering some good squares. We'll go rook c8 and try and make them do a b3, just so they're having trouble kicking out our bishop here with an a3 themselves. If they play a3 straight away, I guess just all the way back. And then they're struggling to support this pawn with b3, I guess. So I think we're still looking good here. It's not as clear as I hoped. Especially since I thought we had tactics, but bishop takes sort of solves everything. I still like it. We've still got a very strong bishop pair. Sorry if that's loud, by the way. I'm not sure how that sounds in the recording. Hopefully it's not too bad. But yeah, I think probably bishop e7. Bishop e7, rook he1. No, then we can just take the pawn, right? They go there. Now that doesn't look particularly good. Bishop f5. Or just f5. f5, knight back somewhere. Where do you go? You got g5. G5's very annoying, actually. So maybe a h6 just kills that a bit. And the whole idea is that we're looking to maybe get like a bishop d2 in the mix. Ooh. Do we have that anyway? Knight there. Bishop takes. No, rook takes. Rook takes, bishop takes. Seems to solve a lot of their problems. And this king's remarkably hard to hit. Remarkably hard to hit. What about just like a bishop f5? You know, it's nothing special. It's nothing special. Rook c6. Rook c6. Try double up. Potentially double up this way. Hit the knight like that. Is an idea. Knight there. Just bishop back. Yeah, so they kick us out. So we'll go... I don't really want to go a5, but it's a nicer square than going to e7 because of the potential pins. But we're sort of giving them a ton of tempi. We'll go back to e7. Go on them. Potentially move to d8. I don't want to be giving them moves by moving our bishop this way, especially after a b5. Although then they've created a potential backwards pawn with c4. Could be quite nice. And now with the bishop on e7, it's covering c5 as well. And knight there, so potentially just an f4 here. f5, sorry. f5, knight back to g3. b6 seems good, stopping any c5. We still have f5 ideas, just kicking the knight away from the defensive c5 as well. Seems okay. And yeah, they're not doing much. Like, they could be doing more, making better threats. Especially on this d pawn, that's our big weakness. But I think, like, as long as we keep the bishop pair on the board, we have chances here. We definitely have chances. And this gives us, what, 8 points of material? I try not to look at the points too much, but it does feel good when you're getting points, right? It does give you a little ego boost. They go for c5 anyway. Here, I think f5 is just good. f5, we actually lose the pawn. Ooh, we've got rook c8, actually. Is a great idea. Pinning to the rook. Yeah, let's just do that. That just seems good. With threats of everything. Because this bishop's covered by the pawn, so there is no rook c1. e1, sorry. Then we're threatening to take. They go there. Well, we'll just go back to c7. That's the only place we can go to, really. And now we're looking at potentially pinning this knight. So you go to... Have I made a boo-boo here? b8. b8 takes. Ah, you've got takes into mezzo. Okay, 7. Takes. Oh, I don't like this. Takes. Yeah, we might have made a mistake with that, actually. No, I'm glad we did, because that would have been bad. Letting them have the fork there would have been bad. Yeah. Maybe rook d8. Yeah, probably rook d8, right? Supporting this d pawn. We'll just take this rook. We'll take this pawn. Potentially go rook a8. Hit the bishop with this pawn. We've got to be very careful about our king, but an f5 should solve that. Should. Should. Keyword should. I'm not sure what they're doing here. Probably takes, right? Probably takes. At which point we have to take that. Rook takes, takes. Rook there is annoying. Rook there is very annoying. Rook at bishop f8. Knight there. Check. They go there. Now can I just f5? f5 I still win the pawn? No? Yeah, f5 I like. That seems like a slip up from them. We'll play f5. And that gives our king some room as well. Gives some luft. If you don't know what luft means as well, it just means these squares, you move them up, the pawns up, to give your king some room. Because luft means, I think, means air in German. So you're giving your king some air, basically, some wiggle room. Just to stop back ranks. That's all it is. Yeah. There's not much else to it, really. We have check, actually. Check's quite nice. But then we lose control of this, but we don't really need to control this that much because b takes. And if they try this, we just take the check. It's all good. So yeah, I'm relatively happy. Relatively happy is a big word. This does not seem wise. That's a shock to me. I can take. Takes, there, takes, there. Yeah, I think I can do several things here. Takes knight is probably the better shout. Because it leaves these two here. Takes knight's probably the better shout. Then we have rook d7 as well to cover this pawn, which is very nice. You go there. I think here I go g5. The king can't really get in with that, which is nice. That seems fine. We've got to speed up a tad. But it's all good. That was probably a mistake. G7's better. As you know, takes is fine. We can throw in check here. Very nice. With check. Very nice. We can attack the rook as well, which is very nice. Stopping them pushing f3. And then play h6. That was a nice little order of moves there. Now the king's looking a bit boxed in, which is good. And they might run out of moves very quickly. I'd like to play an a6, I think. We'll go a5. Then do takes. I need to trade off this bishop. They time out. I'm not sure what the result of this one is if they weren't to time out. We'll have a quick look without the engine. Just see what the sort of plans is. I think maybe takes was a mistake. there. King up. Try trade off rooks and get it there with mate threats, I guess. But the rook can just stay on this back rank. So there. Shuffle a bit. There. And I still can't really infiltrate. I guess maybe trade off the bishops at that point. Bishop there. And then start to push the pawn, I guess. That seems like the way to do it. If I can draw an arrow and then just push the pawns to victory. Get the rook back on the d-file. Seems winning. Seems winning. We will see what the grand computer says. But yeah, seems clear cut. We got an 82.5% accuracy versus a 76.9. 2100 versus 1750. I don't know what these numbers come from. They're definitely a weird statistic to have, but I like reading them out because it makes me feel good. Anyway, let's see this game. Usual Scandi. I will play something different for entertainment. C5's an interesting idea. This is good. It's not bad. E5's apparently the better one. Similar idea. You're not gambiting a pawn. Very interesting, actually. I'll show you guys this. E5 takes. If knight takes, then what? Oh, maybe like some checks. But the idea is if king takes, you have knight g4 and you're forking the pawn and the fork. You're forking a fork, which is wild. But yeah, so you get the pawn back and then they can't castle. So I'm guessing knight takes is the better move. Yeah. At which point, knight e4. Oh, and then you go knight b4 looking for the fork on the king. And if they go bishop e3, apparently knight e3. Oh, knight e3? Seems dodgy. What's the best move? What's the best move, please? Knight e3. I guess then the bishop checks come in very quick. Not check? Oh, king e2. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You just moved the king up. And apparently this is fine. You're blocking your bishop. You're blocking your knight, potentially. But apparently the computer even favors this for white very slightly. It's 0.6, which is wild. Anyway, we played this. Break with e6. We can't let them get too much space, you know. Bishop e7. Takes. Knight b5 is a very good idea. I think I would have to go knight e6 there. I don't want them getting this light squared bishop. Yeah, knight a6. Just stop that. And then you can castle. And sort everything out later. We go knight c6 because we can castle and sort everything out. Yeah, knight b4 is beautiful. You're hitting so much. Looking to just keep the bishop pair as your permanent advantage. We give the check. Apparently not the best move. h6 is better. Why that's better, I'm not sure. I am not sure. Oh, because it stops bishop takes knight with the fork then. And you potentially just destroy their pawn structure with the same idea as we played. Yeah, best move there. Move the bishop back perfect. Apparently knight there's better. Because it's a bit more of an outpost with the c-pawn. And you take apparently. And then, yeah, what? You've got opposite coloured bishops both with a very, like, forward, like, behind the enemy, in front of the enemy pawn, isolated pawn. That's such a weird position. It's almost like, wow. Yes, so you're in front of your enemy's pawns. It's like the pawns have swapped sides. That's insane. Yeah, and black plays b5 to undermine the bishop. You just go back. a5. Yeah. And then just, I'm guessing, a3. Yeah. And you're going to have a hard time actually kicking this bishop out. And I guess something similar happens with the dark squared bishop as well. Bishop e7, we're not trading off this bishop pair no matter what. We gave a check. A bit pointless, apparently. Whoa! So I moved the f rook. Apparently moving the a rook is better. I'm guessing so the rook can keep on this file for a potential f5, f4, f3 idea. Seems wild. Seems very, very wild. But I guess those are your only breaks, really. You can't really break this side without giving them a passer. Seems fair enough. Saying that, e5. C takes. Oh, and then you take that with double isolated pawns. Wow. This position's absolutely wild. I love it. We go rook c6. Apparently, that's a miss. So this is minus 1.7. So this is a pretty significant advantage. And f5 here is just the idea. So f5 was an idea we had for a while. I couldn't quite get it to work. Knight g5. I was like, what do you do here? It seems awkward. It seems like you're losing potentially your bishop. Either that or it's going to be misplaced. Maybe you just work it round to c6. Well, I'm just a genius, I guess. I'm just a genius. But yeah, apparently this is fine. This is minus 2.7. c5, I'm not sure. Yeah. Anyway, let's carry on with the game. By the way, before I forget, the name of this opening. Let's see. Modern Martial Tonality Gambit Center Counter Variation. I've just lost the game as well. Oh, there we go. Yeah, wild name. Where are we? Rook c1. Again, f5 is the idea. I'm not sure why it's the idea. Apparently, it is the idea. It's probably a similar thing. Yeah, exact same thing actually. Brilliant. A3. We go back there rather than going to a5. Let's have a look at a5. Does that sink the eval? Not crazy amounts. It's still fine. b6 just to stop some of their pushes. They push anyway. Bishop d5. Very interesting idea. Very, very, very interesting idea. Pinning the knight to the king. King g3 gets rid of the pin. If they do something like rook e1. Apparently it's a blunder. Oh, just because of f5. Duh. Oh, gosh. Gosh. They do this. We mess around a bit. I find the right moves, which is cool. That's a mistake. Just taking's just better, like we calculated, I think. Takes, it makes very annoying things for us. We've got to trade off some of our advantage. And all of a sudden it's becoming a lot more even. Like, we do have a slight advantage with the bishop pair, but this pawn's exceptionally weak. It could potentially pose a threat, but after like a bishop d3, it's not going anywhere. So it's more of a weakness for us. And then this, like my positional weaknesses make up for my positional advantages, basically. And it's about even. F4, 5 apparently. It's a miss because F5, best move. Apparently we just play this. Knight takes. See, I was worried about knight takes because I want the knight, I want like that, you know, I want to pin the knight. So I was worried about knight takes, but I guess you just throw in the check. Oh, and check some more. Ah, you've got a secondary check. Oh, and then g5 is beautiful with the fork. Wow. Oh, it's very similar to yesterday's, actually. Where we do this thing, and apparently this one actually works out. And then you play bishop e4 to kick out this knight with the same forking ideas. That's beautiful, really. That's real beautiful. I like that. But like, I'm guessing like king f2 is fine. Potentially. Yeah, best move. Bishop takes f4. Oh, and then you just go down. Wait, what? But then you're isolating your pawns. Wow, that's wild. But it gets rid of the chance of going into an opposite coloured bishop endgame, I'm guessing is the big idea. Plus, 2 advanced pawns are very tasty. So I guess that's your advantage. We played that. There. Apparently takes is still better here. Wild. B takes. Whoa, really? Oh my gosh, this knight can't stay on this file. Oh my gosh, so you lose the c-pawn. It can't go there. It can't go there. It can't go there. If it goes here, you have bishop b3 as an idea, which is... Boom! Wow. Apparently still a miss, though. Not even the best move. Takes knight first. Takes knight first with the pin on the rook. Even better. Wow. So he takes... We trade off the rooks. This is going back to even. So, fair enough. Rook d1. I think they probably should have capitalized with some checks, maybe. The computer likes king e2. Just getting in front of this pawn, I guess. King c8. Rook c8. A blunder. Oh, yeah, because of the bishop's covering that square. So what about like a rook c7? Rook d7 is a miss. Apparently you just push the pawn to victory. Oh, because once the pawn's on d3... Once the pawn's on d3, the king can't actually get back in time to stop it. It's got to go to e3 and then there, and then there, and then you promote. That's beautiful as well. Wow, this is a cool game. I like this a lot. That's better, apparently. Rather than g5. I guess, what, like rook d2? Show follow-up, rook d2? I don't know. Apparently this is better. It's not clear to me, to be honest. Not clear at all. Where are we? Almost done. Bishop d3 doesn't seem right. Oh, and king f7 actually is the move rather than king g7. I was worried about this pawn, but yeah. I guess after this we had the sequence that we found. Rook c1 apparently. Then probably just like a rook d7. No, but then bishop b5 is a bit annoying. Let's see that. Oh, you're throwing the check. And then trade off the rooks that way. You hang this pawn, though. You do hang this pawn. Why can't they just take this pawn? Oh, because you take that, so they play that first, and then you get the king to g6 to cover the pawn. Makes a lot of sense. And it's important to note there as well. In this position, the king can't ever really get to this pawn because this bishop is blocking its way in. And if this bishop ever moves, whichever diagonal the bishop goes to, your bishop goes to the opposite diagonal and covers the square that way. Apparently you just trade off, which is even better in this situation. Because after the bishop takes, you got connected pawns. One's a passer. It's looking very, very nice. Bishop check there. And then bishop f3 is actually the best move. Stopping any f3, hitting the rook as well. Really, really nice. h6. We misplay that a bit. We were low on time. Apparently rook c6 is the better move. Keeping these sort of flexible, I guess. Oh, you kick the bishop out and then go for the pass pawn. You don't even push it. You go here to hit these and cover the pawn. Lock those up, takes, and then you've got two passes all of a sudden. Very, very nice. King h2. And then, yeah. That's a very cool game. I like that a lot. I think we controlled that quite well. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like if you liked. Please subscribe if you really liked. And I'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Bye-bye.